Thursday morning show brought to you by Compliment over at lovecompliment.com. I realized we should start having a coupon code because I actually do use a lot of Compliment products in my life, and I should start saying, like, for a little 30-second clip here at the beginning when we're just filling time anyway, might as well say what we like about them. So I was thinking, Doug, we could organize a discount code for everybody. That would be a plant-based morning show exclusive one day. But you don't want to do anything yet. Plantapalooza is coming up next week. That's a compliment week-long thing. Lots of good deals then. So if you buy money now, you're throwing your money down the toilet because it'll be cheaper next week. Doug has joined. How's it going, Doug?
Going well, Matt. How are you?
Good. Is the marketing department, can you authorize my telling people actively saying do not buy anything until next week?
Don't buy anything when we still make money. Instead, wait till get rid of all of our margins. No, right. Yes, next week is a big week. It's gonna be if you're on the fence about buying something or trying a new complement product, the greens or gut nurture or protein or whatever, then hold tight. Next week is gonna be the week to do it.
Good. See, that's what you get for listening to the show. You get special insider tips. Now you know the best time to buy. I actually am quite excited for my Omega Complex to arrive. It's been out of stock for a little while because it's a good product. And I've been looking at my stuff. Haven't got my Omega numbers back yet from my blood test. But from the last time I did it, they weren't low. They were in the okay range, but they weren't in the cardioprotective optimal range. And I've heard that if you're in that range versus someone who's in the low range, like 8% Omega index versus 4% Omega index, you have a 33% less chance of dying at any moment. All-cause mortality lower by that much.
Wow.
So you want to get
30%?
33%.
That's significant.
Yeah. So it's the same as like giving up smoking. So you want to get into that range. And and they actually are guidelines as to like how much omegas to get per day based on how far away you are from the optimal range and where you want to be in the optimal range. And I figured I need to get about 1,000 milligrams per day of DHA and EPA, which is a lot. It's more than you can get in Complement Plus, and it's even like a serving and a half of Omega Complex or something. But I'm going to be making that effort. I got these blood numbers done, and I'm going to try to improve them all. My other thing that I'm concerned about, so I do have my cholesterol numbers back, and they went down in March, and I was really happy.
Yeah, you were excited about that. Yeah.
Right. They're up higher again now, despite everything else looking great. The cholesterol numbers are up again, including HDL, which is you want to be higher. So that's good. And I was like, where is there any sort of saturated fat? Like, what about my diet? I'm exercising more. What could be worse? And the only thing I can point to is Huel, because Huel has MCT oil in it, has like 2.5 grams of saturated fat in it. And I've stopped eating it. Like, if I'm going to eat vegan meat, I get Tofurkey, no coconut oil. I don't do the Beyond or anything like that. Haven't in a long time. And I think Huel is the culprit. So eliminating that, having even more complement protein.
How much are you Hueling?
Not that much. Probably every 2 days have a serving. And Holden and I will split that, or we'll split a double size serving. And we usually we always mix in complement protein, and we've been mixing in that animal-free whey as well.
Wow. It's a whole blend of different protein
I figured to get all the amino acids, just mix it all up. One of them's got to be good for me. I mean, I know that, to be honest, not marketing here. I know the complement one is the good one. It's the one that has all the stuff I want. I was just looking for that extra pump, like from whether the animal-free whey or the Huel. Yeah. But now I doubled my quantity of complement chocolate protein that's on order each month for me and my family. And I'm going exclusively that. Get that cholesterol under control. So we'll see what happens in 8 weeks or whatever when I retest.
We didn't talk about this. It was actually kind of terrible timing. I finally ordered the animal-free whey like a week and a half ago, maybe. It was like right before we talked about the whey stuff.
Right.
And I had ordered it, and I'm like, well, I should at least try it now that I have it, and we can
you should,
because I wanted to see how it would make me feel, but also like if it impacted the girls at all, and just like how it changed the flavor of the smoothie and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it did not. I'll be honest. It did not sit well with me. Like it took. I've only done it twice, and the first time it really didn't. The second time, it wasn't as bad. But like I don't know. My stomach felt funky.
Yeah, well, that was definitely our first response when we had the Brave Robot ice cream a couple summers ago, which has the same, I think it's Perfect Day animal-free whey protein powder in it, which of course is a vegan whey for those who don't know. I mean, I guess you can call it vegan. It's literally making a whey molecule. It's the same, but they're doing it with precision fermentation using microbes, no animal inputs whatsoever. All they're using is knowledge of the animal, the cow genome or whatever that makes this. So that's what it is. And yeah, I think there is that reaction. I think it's natural to have that probably if you've
I think it even says on the bag, like if you haven't had whey or dairy in a while, like you should ease into it.
Right.
Which is good advice.
And so for those who didn't listen, whenever last week we talked about it, there's a little bit of concern that like basically the same groups who are concerned about GMOs are concerned about these new vegan dairy identical or whatever they're called products, where they're saying we don't really know what's going on. They're not regulated the same way as some other, as even GMOs are. There's no reason they don't have to label them as something the way GMO stuff I think needs to be labeled. Actually, I don't even know. Does it need to be labeled?
I don't think so. No.
Well, somehow it's not.
People label stuff non-GMO, but
right. Well, somehow it is subject to less restriction or fewer restrictions than GMO stuff is. So they're saying we just don't know that much about it still. So might be something to be aware of. And I don't know. Recently, I've been just extra cautious about things that just unknown risks. I don't know, for whatever reason, just books I've been reading and things have gotten me in that direction. Anyway, that's enough of that serious talk. What do you got?
What I had yesterday?
What, Doug? Nachos, chips, corn tortilla?
No, none of those things.
Okay,
actually.
Good, great.
That I hadn't had in a while, and I kind of missed the season. Like we're in the back end of the season. Asparagus.
Is this the back end of the season? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's like a spring vegetable in early summer maybe. But man, I got some local asparagus the other day, over the weekend.
Yep.
And we cooked it up yesterday, and God, it is so good. It was just like fresh asparagus is so good.
Asparagus is really good. I had a very bad association. I just thought it was what came in the cans when I had when we were kids, and it was awful and limp and brownish green, and I thought it was the grossest thing in the world. So as an adult, I was surprised to find that it's actually really good when you cook it fresh. So that's good. I like good old asparagus. What'd you do? Grill it? Saute?
Sauteed it with a little garlic and salt and pepper and just so crispy, so delicious. Had it with like some homemade tempeh bacon. We didn't make the tempeh, but homemade seasoning, and then some soup that I also bought at the farmer's market. It was kind of sometimes you just do things and you're like, why did I do that? But there was this vegan soup company from Swannanoa, right outside Asheville, that had a little stand, and they had samples, and it was like all these kind of creative pureed soups, and they were delicious. They were really good, and I took a bunch of samples, and I was like, yeah, I gotta buy some of those, and so I asked for a couple of them, and they were ringing me up, and it turns out they were like $15 a piece. I was like, oh my God, I just spent $30 on soup. But it was very good. It was very good. It had, and a wonderful little meal of soup and asparagus and tempeh.
Sounds good. I made some mustard. No, not mustard. We're going to talk about mustard greens later today. I made some turnip greens yesterday. I read about them in my new At Longevity's Table book by Walter Longo. I went ahead and got the English version because the Italian one is good, but it's slow going to get through it, and can't skim through the recipes at all. There's 200 recipes. You got to glance at recipes and find the ones that are good. Plus a bunch of them have fish in them, so we got to eliminate those quickly. So I had to get the English version for that. But anyway, they use turnip greens in a lot of parts of Italy, Puglia mostly. But they had them in Heracito, just a big whole bin of turnip greens. So I bought some and cooked them up yesterday. They were quite good. We went to Taco Bell yesterday. Remember we talked about it about 2 days ago? You said you hadn't been in years or something like that. Ellery had a soccer tryout. She really wanted Taco Bell. She just randomly wanted it. So we stopped there and got the kids Taco Bell stuff. I didn't eat it. Neither did Aaron. But just made a border run. It was good. And then Ellery just raved about it, how good it was. I explained to her how they just have the same ingredients. They just put them in glue them together with different substances or whatever. But no, she's all about it. I
think Ellie and I will get along. It's been a while since we've hung out.
Maybe. Yeah. right.
I want to say good morning to everybody who's here live. Mr. Jeffrey, D1 to No Adventure Coach, with some really cool font. I don't know how you did that. Emery, Suzanne, Phyllis, Vicky, good crowd over on YouTube, and I have some Discord news as well.
Okay. Did we get hacked? We didn't get a raid, did we?
We did not get raided.
Okay.
But you can rate us by going to nomadathlete.com/Discord and join in. It is free, of course. But I started the book club channel. People have been talking about book clubs and unsure where to get it going. So I started the book club channel, and there are a few people who have volunteered to kind of lead the No Made Athlete or the Plant-Based Morning Show book club. So head over there, join the channel.
Good. Did you delete the vegan tips channel or whatever? I think every time we add one, we need to delete one, and that one's got to go because that's what the general is for.
Book club was for.
No,
wait, what?
Vegan tips or new vegans or whatever that channel was that you made that one day in that flurry of things you added.
Plant-based advice.
Yeah, get rid of that. That's what the general channel is all about. That we don't need that.
All right.
Too many channels. We can't have bloat happening.
Okay, buddy. Whatever you say.
All right, good. But I think that's good. Book club would be a nice addition in there, and I can start talking about Longo's book in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
My mom asked, which plant saturated fats are you limiting? How do you feel about avocado? Yeah, I don't really know that. I'm limiting coconut oil. But I only became aware recently from you, Mom, that avocados had a lot of saturated fat, or a decent amount, 3 grams or so. So I'll have to look at that. I don't eat that many avocados anyway. And I think they're not a food that my ancestors would have had on their table in Germany. So I probably should, if I'm going to be doing something like this longevity diet, not eat that for a little while. So that's probably my
Other than meat, what do Germans eat? Like what's traditional?
Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, yeah.
That type of pasta, they have it in northern Italy. Spätzle, I think it's called.
Okay.
It's basically
Don't
pasta.
know that.
It's pasta, just little different small little shapes.
Okay.
Pretzels, beer.
Pretzels, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't know if these are traditional German foods, like in large amounts. Beer, I think is. I don't know. I got to look into that more. I'm not following that too closely, but because I was thinking, bananas is good. Bananas aren't high glycemic index. By the way, we were referring to what we talked about yesterday on the No Meat Athlete Radio episode we did in the afternoon. Not many people here because we had a false start, so then nobody got the alert when we actually did it. But anyway, we were saying some of the precepts, the tenets of the longevity diet, and these were one of them. And he said, stay away from the high glycemic fruits. And I was like, well, bananas, that's good. I didn't realize that, of course, directly conflicts with the advice not to eat what my German ancestors ate because they didn't have bananas, I'm sure. I just Googled it. Fried potatoes, potato dumplings, potato salad, cabbage. Gnocchi, cabbage, good.
Pretzels.
I do have 2.5% Italian though, so as long as I'm making all that Italian food,
there you go.
Yeah. All right, good. That's our introduction for the show today, and I guess it's time to jump into our weather report. Doug, should we do that?
Weather report. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Are we still putting music with the weather reports, or can I go back to playing the music?
On the videos, we are, yes. Just the intro.
Okay.
So you can do it. Okay, whatever you want to do.
I'll do it. All right, here we go. Your May 18th plant-based morning show weather report. For the first time ever of particular interest to vegans, Purdue is selling a 12.5 ounce can of beer, specially made for beer can chicken in time for the summer grilling season. So that means you can have exactly the right beer to shove up the chicken carcass when you put it on the grill. I mean, first of all, is this at all applicable to vegans? Is there any reason we'd want to use a beer can seitan sort of chicken situation? I don't really know. You do roast. You can do a seitan roast. It's not how I usually use seitan, but you could do it on holidays. Unfortunately, the beer itself has honey in it. It's a honey double citrus ale, and $15 for a 6-pack, sold online only. So I don't know if this is too interesting, but we talk about beer a lot, and beer.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is so dumb. I mean, there's no way they think this is actually going to catch on. It just has to be something they're like, oh, how are we getting the news? for
Right.
the summer season, right?
I mean, it can't even be like a big money maker, right? To organize a new partnership, even at $15 a six pack, like how many of these do they expect to really sell? But here we are, a vegan show talking about it, so
that's true.
News.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's dumb. I would stay far away from this. And it's even a dumb name. Beer can, chicken beer. Come on, at least chicken beer can, right? Like, you don't need beer in there twice. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they said exactly what it is. It's the beer for beer can chicken. But it seems like it sounds like it's flavored. I mean, if you just saw this and thought it was beer, the word chicken in there is beer, because then you'd think it would be have chicken in it. Anyway, it's apparently you're supposed to use a fruity beer when you do beer can chicken, I read. And this beer has classic grilled chicken seasonings like rosemary, thyme, and pink peppercorn in it. So, okay, I guess, who knows? Silly. But does anyone ever do beer can vegan chicken? That's my question. Do you, Doug, to our audience, is that a thing? If it isn't, it could be a great TikTok trend. We need to start that.
Just shove a beer can up into a block of tofu. Seitan roast? Seitan roast. Okay.
Yeah, make a seitan roast, carve out a hole, put the beer can in it, and have at it.
I mean, maybe I should try it. Sounds kind of good.
It probably would be able to keep the seitan moist. I mean, that's important, just like with chicken. So, yeah.
We bought some of those roasts at the holiday and froze them because they were like right after Christmas. I think I talked about that. They were like $3.99 or something like that for a roast. That's usually
so usually like $19. And then clear out the holiday flavors. You have a whole cavity there where you can then put the beer can in. Just not this beer can, but pick one. Do it. That'd be the viral hit. Might be what the show needs. By the way, biggest download day ever yesterday we had. Did you know that?
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah. Really great numbers. All right.
Cool.
On to the next one. Mr. Jeffrey will appreciate this one because in his home country of Canada, Haagen-Dazs is embracing oat milk as the base for its newest line of vegan ice cream. Shout out to Veg News for the tip off here. 3 new flavors: chocolate peanut butter, vanilla raspberry truffle, and caramel fudge chip, and available in most grocery stores across Canada. I mean, who cares? I guess it's yet another brand that has vegan ice cream, and I think oat milk. But really, who needs Haagen-Dazs to make oat milk when we've got Oatly? Because not only do they make fantastic oat milk products like oat milk ice cream, they're also in the advertising business or the art business or something, because they just keep putting out stuff that makes you like start to think it's going to be a normal, okay advertisement. And then at the end, something happens or there's some twist. And at the end, you just like, you feel like sick or don't know what to think, or like, you're like, what just happened to me? So they did it again. They're at it again here. They've taken over a diner. I guess they have a whole series about this. I didn't know this one. There's a whole series that's called Will It Swap? And they're finding out if people will be okay with swapping in Oatly oat milk for their regular milk. And in this case, they took over a diner in Louisiana, Lee's Drive-In. It's called Charming Southern Diner in Hammond, Louisiana. And they did it, interview people, a bunch of funny characters and things in the video. And then at the end, they had people say whether or not they're okay with it and how do they like it. So, Doug, do you have that queued up so we can play the last 30, 40 seconds of it or whatever?
I do. I have it queued up over on YouTube. So if you're watching on Instagram, head over to youtube.com/NewMeatAthlete. You can watch it there. Let's give it a listen. This is the last minute, really.
Okay.
We can stop it. All right, here we go.
When we support the ladies and whatever they need.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, got it.
You could hear it. Oh, I couldn't hear it.
Sounds great.
All right, let's try it again. Here we go.
It tastes like
the difference.
I really can't.
You cannot taste the difference between this and milk.
If anybody during the course of the day said to you, I can't tell the difference, it tastes just like...
They're not telling you the truth.
They're not being honest with you.
No, they're not.
I think he lying. I didn't taste any difference between the ice cream from no other ice cream I eat, and I eat a lot of ice cream.
Who don't want to try Oatly, they're like resisting it.
Yeah, I'll try it. Like, I'll eat a vegan sandwich, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be a vegan after I eat that sandwich.
Like people resisted trying Oatly. How do you?
I want to go to this diner, man. This diner looks cool.
I know. That seems like great people. I love the guy at the end who says, I'll eat a vegan sandwich. Doesn't mean I'm going to go vegan. that's the attitude we need a whole lot more of. I think in all diets. Like, I hate that there are people who are so anti-vegan that they just like they can't touch vegan food. It's just you can't have it. Right. And I guess the reverse too. And there's this ethical thing with obviously if you're a vegan, you're not going to go eat animal products just to kind of be nice, or to be open-minded because you have a line you drink. But I don't know. I just like that mindset. Like it's not like just because you had some you need to be it, but it opened to trying things. I just love that. Great guy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So the first 2 minutes of the video is like a setup just for this. They're showing the cooks using it, and kind of everybody's a little bit skeptical of how it's going to work. And they're asking what it is. That one lady's funny, and it's like she doesn't want she hates hummus. She does not want hummus in her burger or in her stuff. She's terrified of hummus. So it was funny. I actually liked it. But then they have the guy who says if anyone tells you it tastes like the real thing, they're lying to you. Did you hear that?
Yeah, well, which Mr. Jeffrey calls out here, says that that's a good thing. They left it in there, and I think that's a good thing too. Like,
yeah,
they are lying to you. If you think that Oatly milk tastes like regular milk, then you are mistaken. I mean, it's been years since I've had regular milk, but I am pretty sure that Oatly milk does not taste like it.
Right.
Now, in a milkshake, could you tell the difference? Maybe not. I don't know that you could.
Right.
But if you're just drinking a glass of milk, like that dude is honest. I appreciate that.
I think he was talking about his whatever his dish was. I don't know, but it was looks like an Alfredo pasta, maybe because the next video that comes up after that for me in my search. So this is just on my mind, not my search. The one that's automatically played after that was like someone's shrimp Creole pasta Alfredo pasta recipe. So I was thinking that's probably what he said. Yeah. So I think if you saw the lead up, they were pouring the milks into like all those creamy sauces and stuff. So he was talking about using it in the food, and it didn't taste like the real thing.
Well, maybe there. Yeah.
So I don't listen. This is the first Oatly ad that like I kind of enjoyed and didn't hate. I still don't really. I just don't get what are they doing. I guess they're trying to be different, and
I like it, man.
And include. Just make the oat milk. Like we don't need like this artistic interpretation of stuff and like. I don't know, trying to make people feel things, and you're just a dumb oat milk company. Stop making ads that like just make it say your product is good and we should buy it because it's good for us and good for the planet and good for animals. That's all we need, and then we're good.
I don't know. I mean, a video of like showing how they're highlighting a bunch of different ways that you can use the oat milk,
but then someone says it's not good, not the
and
same.
Some candid reactions, and I mean, certain people don't want it to taste like milk,
Yeah, I know. And I don't know what I want because I don't want them to edit it and only have the good parts. I mean, I guess that's what I expected. So I don't know. You just don't need to be like pioneering in the advertising world. Just make oat milk and that's it.
I see. I think you're being too harsh here. I agree that the video that some of their ads are a little over the top and have turned me off in the past. We've talked about that plenty, but I have no problem with them
I don't really have a problem with it either. I'm kind of playing it up, but I just don't. It's just weird. It just feels strange watching it.
It is funny. They clearly have a huge advertising budget, which will be interesting to see how that plays out in the end. Because sometimes companies venture-backed companies will invest a ton into advertising and make a big splash, and then nothing comes of it. But like Liquid Death, they kind of carved out their advertising niche and have been wildly successful. And it's just water.
Right.
Like
that's all they do.
Just put water in a can. You don't have to make it look like an energy drink.
Maybe Oatly's trying to do too much of that. Maybe they got too inspired by that company, and they're like, "That's what we can do to make our company start taking off. We'll do that instead of just making better and better products." And of course, they're still trying to do that. I don't know, but you know what? I will say. I'm curious now about this whole series. I hope I keep seeing these. And I only saw this because Veg News talked about it. So I do want to see more of these Will It swaps because it was intriguing. The people were funny.
How many people had watched that video?
I don't know.
A lot of you. I'm going to pull it back.
I didn't see. Oh, yeah. 175,000. 6 days ago it came up. So it's okay.
Not bad.
I think.
More views than
1,000 times more than ours. Get 1,000 times more. Yeah, that's okay. But what? I don't know. So if someone who's non-vegan, who's not going to buy Oatly, sees this product or sees this ad, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about people who are already vegan.
Okay.
Is it going to make them want to buy it, or are they going to say, "Well, it got kind of a mixed reaction. Some people liked it, some people didn't."
It would make me curious, right? It'd make you curious. Be like,
okay,
hey, this is kind of interesting. and kind of funny and clever, and like people are into it. Like, and these people who look relatable to me and aren't vegan and clearly saying that they're not vegan, say they're enjoying it. Like, yeah, I'm kind of curious if I saw that.
And the fact that they included one bad review, which, by the way, this is an age-old advertising technique. People know this. You include one bad review so that people then know they can trust the good reviews. They trust everything then.
Right.
And so now you say, well, it's not just a company faking all their stuff. So that, crawfish fettuccine, that just came up because of the things playing silently for me. That's what that one guy's dish was. Yeah. So, okay. I guess it could be effective. I don't know. We'll see. And then if you were a vegan and you saw this, is it going to make you want to say, well, I got to now get Oatly brand when I have this because they're being these ad pioneers?
Maybe a little brand loyalty. You know, you see some stuff like them calling out the dairy industry and them kind of going out on a limb here and getting out of the just vegan box. And yeah, maybe. Yeah. Again, curiosity. You know, I mean, honestly, like the plant milk that I buy almost exclusively is store brand. Right. Like I'm not searching out any like specific brand. But you know, maybe if I wasn't concerned about that, or if I was in a store that didn't have a store brand, I might choose Oatly. If I had seen an ad like this. So Mr. Jeffrey has a lot to say here. He says that in a milkshake, there's no way you can tell the difference. And also, he seems to like it. They need to stand out over all the other vegan milks, and I think it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. They're the first company you think of now when you think of milk, because of oat milk, because of all these ads. So I guess that's working.
He also there was also some praise. We quickly moved over the Haagen-Dazs, which I didn't, Matt, because I think
oh no,
I'm excited about it. Just to have another option other than Ben.
What do we need another option? Oh, because aren't there already like 100 vegan options?
I don't know. I don't buy ice cream very much, so maybe there are. But Breyers has one, right? And
So Delicious coconut brand.
Yeah, but
I think they even make oat version now.
Yeah. My question was whether oat milk is really like Veg News was saying that they're jumping on the oat milk train. Is oat milk really the best for ice cream? I don't know. I'm not convinced that it is. But Lady Draws a Lot says chocolate peanut butter, my favorite, and Mr. Jeffrey says he was offended by your "no one cares" comment. He says he cares.
Okay. Well, no one in my body cares. All right. So on to the next thing, Doug. We're trying to do these shows a little bit faster, so we'll get this done in 5 minutes, and we will be out of here. Which will be 10 minutes faster than usual. So I'll be happy with that. All right. This is kind of a fun one. It's interesting, I guess. It's from Wired, and I've lost my show plan. Let me pull it up. Okay. Nope. That's the Purdue ad. Sorry. Okay. The headline from Wired is the first CRISPR edited salad is here. And CRISPR is CRISPR, which I know I have heard of before. I didn't really know why. It turns out it's a gene editing platform. I don't know if it's software or what it is, but it's the ability to edit the genes in foods.
Yeah. Where else have we heard that?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Somewhere. Yeah, I remember that. Yep. Go ahead.
So what they're doing, they're pretty close. It's already happening in some restaurants, I believe, and it's coming soon to grocery stores. And the first thing they're doing is mustard greens, which I mentioned before accidentally when I meant turnip greens. But mustard greens, they're always, if you look at the Andy score, I think it's aggregate nutrient density index, which you used to see at Whole Foods all the time at the salad bar, the hot food salad bar and all that. They would put those scores on all the vegetables. You don't really see that anymore, but Joe Furman still talks about it. It just shows how much nutrition per calorie there is, how much micronutrient content per calorie. And mustard greens is like one of the 1,000 pointers where the maximum score you can get is 1,000. I think it's mustard greens, collard greens, kale, all these cruciferous greens get the top score. So mustard greens are definitely a nutritional powerhouse, but people don't eat them because they have a really bitter, peppery flavor.
Phytates.
What's that?
They don't eat them because of phytates.
Yeah, right. Maybe. But that and the very bitter, peppery flavor, and arugula has a similar peppery flavor, but I think mustard greens are more intense and bitter. I used to eat mustard greens. I know that, but I don't remember in what I use them. And it's been a long time since I've had them. But anyway, people don't eat them. So what they're doing, what they're doing with this gene editing tool is basically removing the gene that would make them taste bitter. And I guess they didn't address this in the article, but I guess they do that and they don't remove whatever's healthy, because often those bitter compounds are the very thing that makes it healthy. So I hope what they're doing here is not so short-sighted that they would, miss that when you remove the bitterness, you're also removing the health part of it, or a lot of the healthy part of it. But anyway, that's what they're doing, so that people will start to I think the goal is this will become the base for people's salads instead of iceberg or butter lettuce or whatever. Which if that happened, in some ways it would be a big success, because you'd have people who are eating probably more flavorful, first of all, so maybe they'll eat more salads, but just healthier thing in their salad. So that's their vision, I guess, with this. And the reason I'd say that's kind of good is because it's hard to just make greens like we did last night, like I did with the turnip greens, but we just don't do that much. It just takes effort to prepare them and cut them and clean them and all that stuff, and then saute. You just don't often make time for that when you're already making dinner. So it'd be a great way to kind of have a better way to get these good greens. Here's the thing that makes this okay. At first I was like, well, this is stupid. Like, we don't need this. Why do we need to mess with the foods like this? Like, just develop a taste for this, and eventually you'll be all right. This is not the same as GMO, because with GMO, they actually introduce DNA from separate species. Right? And they add something in. In this case, with this gene editing, they're only doing things that could over time be done through selective breeding and all the stuff that happens anyway. They just speed up how long it would take. They said it could take decades to do this sort of change through selective breeding. I think that's the term for, choosing the least bitter plants and keep using those again to make offspring. But they can do this. I think it's been 4 years, this project, and they're ready to go now. So
okay,
right there, there's it's more palatable to me, right? Not actually palatable, but
But if you're completely removing the gene, right? I mean, you're not dumbing down the gene. If you're completely removing it,
yeah, I think. But that's part of the legal classification here, is that it actually could be done. Mm-hmm. So I do believe that it's the same effect as would happen from a long period of this selective breeding.
Okay.
Which isn't necessarily to say it's good and natural, right? Because people complain all the time. The paleo people say, well, our oranges and things that we have now, those are nothing like the oranges that our Paleolithic ancestors would have had access to. They're much, much juicier and full of sugar and not as much fiber. All the stuff that is potentially not good, even when it's not GMO. Same with apples and lots of other fruits. So it's not just automatically okay, because it could have happened through this more natural process. But it seems less scary to me. It seems a little bit less of unknown risk that GMOs have. And look, again, GMOs have been out for 20 years now, and there aren't well-documented health problems from these things. There's a lot of fears still about what it will do, and also how it will upset the environment when you introduce things that just are totally not what nature designed. And I don't mean climate change so much. I mean but the ecosystem and the growing conditions, all this stuff, right? It could ruin it. It just seems like you could have a disaster potentially one day happen as a result of all this. But apparently there's no evidence that any of that is happening. So I don't know. Just opinion thing here. I mean, I don't know. What do we think? Does this is this a good thing? We talked a little bit earlier about a GMO tomato. Actually, that was months ago. That was made healthier because it was genetically modified. It was a purple color, and it was much better. It could be had out of season and much more nutrition. And that was we were iffy on that one. This I kind of want to say is, I don't have any problem with this. It's like I said, I mean, people do it with oranges. It just took a long time. If we have this technology to start doing it all over the place, and we get 100 years of advancement in selective breeding, and we get it in the next 5 years, that's kind of strange, but maybe not bad. Especially if it's done carefully and it gets people to start eating way healthier foods.
Yeah, I think I'm good with it. I think I'd like to try it, and it would be awesome if it was the kind of default, a much more nutritious salad green that you were just throwing at the base of your salad. I really do not like mustard greens right now in their current version that you grow in the garden or get at the farmer's market. So I'm skeptical that I will really like these, but maybe. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not as scared of GMO stuff, of modified stuff as much as you are. In general, I think.
I don't know if I am.
And
I would have, before we started doing the show, I would have said I'm not worried about GMOs. If the science doesn't say it's a problem, it's not. But I've just kind of recently become more in tune to these, like I said, the unknown risks. So maybe now I'm put myself in that camp of I'm not sure. But I don't want to sound like I'm a GMO, conspiracy person.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's great. The fear with any of that stuff, though, is right. Like, is if it becomes the default and you lose the original mustard green, right? And that I think would be bad because it certainly serves a purpose, but and in certain foods and meals and you never know, like, is this new version, like you said, not going to be as nutritious? Hopefully they figure that out, but you might want the original. So
I mean, there are heritage preservation things in place now.
Right. I'm sure they could seed save or whatever, but
so I'm not too worried about that. But I do think it'd be strange. I mean, and maybe this is reality already. I was gonna say it'd be strange if the whole grocery store produce section was all this unnatural stuff. It kind of already is, right? From selective breeding for years. So I don't know. Part of me is like not so much a health standpoint. Like I don't think I'd choose this. Like if I didn't like mustard greens, I would just see if I liked collard greens or some other one and like make that my default. And those aren't great salad choices. Maybe that's why they pick mustard greens, because mustard greens are not that tough like collard and kale are. So it actually could work raw in a salad. That's probably why they picked it. So I guess I get that. But the concern here that people had that I saw is just more like a business commercial concern. Someone at the very end said, if gene edited foods are really going to take off, they need to provide a clear and direct benefit to people that helps them financially or nutritionally. So remember, those GMO tomatoes were way more expensive. So that was a problem. With this, I don't know if they addressed how much the price would be, but like they're not making the mustard greens healthier, right? They're just making them taste better. So I guess I don't know if consumers will respond to that, right? If like this is the same, or they're told this is the same as that, but it tastes better. Will people be into that?
Yeah. I mean, right. I mean, maybe. I think I would
know.
be, right? Like,
what if it was this is the same as that, but it's healthier of a food like a tomato, right?
Well, if it's healthier, then definitely. But even if it tastes better, like if I never go after mustard greens because I know I don't like the taste, right? If I thought that the taste would be better, then I'd certainly consider getting some and maybe mixing it in with other lettuces and
I think I would too. Actually, I think now that I think about it, like if you just we do this a lot, right? Like there's those Tangelo things that are crosses between two oranges or something, and there's a bunch of things in there that are like when I think of those, there's the Kumado tomatoes, right? The ones that are always in season. I have never really wondered whether they're GMO. I've just assumed they're somehow have a good way of growing tomatoes, and like it's like they're tomatoes, but they taste better than what you get anywhere else, and they're predictable and they're good. So like I get them, which I should totally look and see if that's GMO or not. But I'm thinking like that when I'm told that story, I'll tend to go for it, right? They're like that, but they're bred differently, so they're really palatable now. And this is basically that. I know it's not bred differently, but it's equivalent to being bred differently over a long time. So I don't know. I guess I'm on board with this. It's just you hope it doesn't happen all over the place. You hope it's like not all the food turns into this.
What if okay, explain that real quick. I know we're running out of time here, but like, what if every vegetable just tasted really good? People would eat more of it.
Yeah, right. And for most people, it'd be way healthier. It just, like you said, you hope you can still get the original if you like the bitter taste and not that you love the bitter taste, but maybe you have uses for it where like it works really well in this type of thing, and you've got other lettuces that you like in a salad. I don't know. It just seems like a nicer thing, but I do get it. Public health. If everyone is now eating way healthier because you're eating this gene edited food, that's a really good thing, right? You could have drastic savings for society and things that come as a result if that really happened. But I don't know. It seems to me that people are more skeptical than that. They don't think it's going to just take off that easily.
Well, I mean, mustard greens have a clear PR problem. They need to get the Oatly guys on it.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean, no one. I don't know anyone who's like, I love mustard greens. I'm sure that those people exist because you can get it. You can get it everywhere, and you can get it at all the farmers market, which means farmers are growing it, which means people are buying it. No one like people like arugula, people like kale.
Yeah,
not many people are talking about mustard.
Right, and that's
so I think they have
that's one of the criticisms I read here was saying like, I don't know, the people who are already going to be salad eaters, like this isn't going to create new salad eaters, basically, right? Like maybe you get some salad eaters to swap mustard greens in for their iceberg lettuce, but like anyone who's kind of serious salad eater, they're not eating iceberg and butter lettuce salad. They have all kinds of good things in there.
Yeah.
So it's hard to imagine that this is going to like just become the default salad for the masses. I don't know. It doesn't, like you said, with that being called mustard greens in the first place, it just doesn't really seem like it. So I don't know. Interesting that it's happening though. And we'll keep you posted. If we ever see it in the store, I'll buy it and try it.
There you go.
All right, good. Well, we went our normal show time, Doug. Congratulations. We made it 43 minutes. But that's right. At least we're putting forth an effort. Rachel has checked in. We don't have time to bring her live, but remember Rachel, she was on the show a while ago from Rooted Living. Mm-hmm. She is en route right now to the Vegan Women's Summit on the train.
Right.
She's going to check in with us once that's done. At some point, she'll hop on here and tell us how it went. How that cultivated meat is. They're serving cultivated meat. And I really hope Rachel gets to try that so that I can say, I know someone who's had it. That would be good.
We can have her on the show.
That would be breaking news. That'd be the closest thing we've ever had to breaking news is a person who's tried cultivated meat saying how it was.
There you go. Mr. Jeffrey says that he thinks mustard greens are cover crops, so it's beneficial for farmers to grow regardless of whether or not they sell it. Could be. I don't know it.
I think Mr. Jeffrey's an AI. How can he possibly know all these things? It's just too broad a knowledge base.
He knows a lot.
He
knows
does.
A lot. That's why I'm so glad he's here.
Yeah, me too. You recommended that great espresso machine the other day, which I'm totally going to get one day. I don't know when. All right, let's wrap up. That's it. This was Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. That's good news for most people, including me. So we will see you tomorrow. 11 a.m. Eastern time.
All right,
That's
sounds
normal
good.
time, right? Nothing wacky.
Normal time.
Okay.
Nothing wacky.
All right. 11 a.m. See you then. Don't forget, we got a podcast. It's on Spotify and iTunes. You can go over there and download lots of episodes to help make today our most downloaded, biggest day ever. And also there's youtube.com/NoMeatAthlete where you can see these live shows. You can be the next Mr. Jeffrey if you wanted to do that.
And there's an episode of No Meat Athlete Radio going up today as well, which is another good one.
Okay. So. Like, subscribe, smash that like button, smash that bell, all those things. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Smash it.
Okay. Goodbye.